Many of you saw my last video where I talked about the Native American owl person. I won't say the real name, so I'll put it on the screen. Well, I got a comment mentioning that this is much like a Spanish owl lady, which is to be safe, I will also be putting the name on the screen. The legend of the owl lady serves as both a cautionary tale and a story of revenge. Well known in northern Mexico and South Texas, there was a wave of hysteria surrounding one instance of the legend when it got popular in the 70s. There are many versions of La Lechuza, but in all of them, she starts as a woman who has been wronged. As said by a professor of Mexican American Studies who specializes in folklore, before she became a shape-shifting owl, she lived alone at the far end of a small town, somewhere in the desert area in northern Mexico, which made people suspicious of her. There was once a boy who went missing from the town, and no one was able to find him. In one version of the story, the woman is accused of being a witch who is responsible for his disappearance. For revenge, she makes a deal with the devil to come back as a shape-shifting owl woman. Some children are told a cautionary tale of her as they grow up that if they are not behaving, staying up late, causing trouble, that she would find the children, swoop down and mess up their hair and scratch the children up with her talons. La Lechuza was large enough that she would also be able to lift the children away and take them down to do whatever evil plans she had in mind. A Latin and Hispanic folklore podcaster named Aiden Castellanos told a story about how he was up late on a school night watching television and he hears neighborhood dogs outside in his neighborhood chasing an animal that's going to go under his house, and at first thinks nothing of it. He then hears one of the dogs yelp, and as he goes to pull the blinds down, he hears what he describes as a person imitating a bird. But he did not see it, because he immediately rolled back over, shut the TV off, and closed his eyes to attempt sleeping through the commotion. Another cryptid was later tied to La Lechuza as well. In the small rural town Robstown, right outside Corpus Christi, was another cryptid, inevitably linked to the community's culture. The bird of Robstown, or El Pájaro Gigante de Robe. In 1975, people walking along country roads at night claimed to have seen a huge monster bird with a human face swooping down at them. There were claims of the creature being 2 to 6 feet. With this description, the connections of La Lechuza began. Shortly after this event, more sightings were reported nearby Banquet and Alice. It became something of a wave of hysteria, but one that upheld humor as the Robstonians began to embrace their cryptid. There was a magazine called La Lomita, which had 25 theories about the bird, ranging from being conjured to scare people away to the new origins called Familias Unidas, or it being a form of justice finally arriving to the town. It also made it onto an issue of the comic book Relampago, created by Margarito Garza, who later served as a Corpus Christi district judge. Musical groups also wrote songs about the creature. Tejano musician Wally Gonzalez released one about the creature being seen all through South Texas. One of the most famous songs the Robstonians cite from the group called Los Campeones Raluis, titled El Pájaro Gigante Robe. While most of the legend is humorous, there is still aspects that are quite dark. El Pájaro Gigante has been described by skeptics to have been conjured up by people walking home after a long night of drinking. In a lot of modern stories or sightings, La Lechuza goes after a particular kind of victim. She particularly terrorizes men who find themselves walking alone, maybe drunk on a weekend night, or maybe drunk on a work night, coming home late, possibly coming home drunk. Men that might be known to be into lascivious behavior, people that are abusive, unkind, cruel, people that might cheat on their spouse or even abuse their spouse or partners, meaning modern sightings of La Lechuza seems to serve women and girls who have been wronged, which creates a sense of hope for women that justice still can be served, even if it's not in mainstream ways.